Champs.
So for the manga this week, we read... Actually, did you read it?
I read all of it, yeah.
Okay.
Like less than an hour ago, I finished it.
Less than an hour ago. We read Kagurabachi, all about katanas.
And sorcery.
And sorcery.
Sorcery's a really big thing,
really big.
too.
It's kind of like JJK without explaining things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like the powers work the same way, where it's like a spiritual energy that you like.
They explain the swords at least.
Yeah, and at some point they kind of started explaining shit around the chapter 30 mark. But I was really enjoying the fact that shit just kind of happens. But we'll go ahead and start with a rating. What would you have rated Kagurabachi?
Like a 9 or 10.
Ooh.
It was a lot of fun.
You had a really good time with it.
It was great. It was fun. It's just a dude running around. You killed my dad. You
Right.
killed my dad, and now I'm mad.
Yeah, that makes me happy because I also really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than anything else that we're talking about right now.
This is the standout good thing that. Well, I don't know. No, like, the snacks maybe.
I mean, the snacks are going to be good. This beer actually is pretty good. But if we want to go ahead and recount what happened in Kagurabachi, right? So it's a kind of a revenge-motivated story. So the main character's dad was like a legendary swordsmith.
He was the best swordsman that ever was making.
He wasn't a swordsman; he was a swordsmith.
Swordsmith.
I don't think he ever fucking wielded the blades.
Sword.
Yeah. So he's able to craft katana that no one else can, where they're enchanted with this like crazy power using some like unobtainium like metal.
I forget what it's called too.
Yeah, it was like the Dynaguchi or something. It was the Gucci material. And he was the only one that knew how to use it.
Because otherwise it makes you explode.
Yeah, it makes you fucking explode. But that's a little later. So he crafted these like 6 katana, and there's like this war that they keep alluding to, that the katana were so powerful that it like ended the war.
They really don't talk about the war other than the war.
Yeah, they just allude to that there was a war.
Datenseki.
Yeah. And
is what the metal is called.
Okay.
It's metal that has spirit energy infused into it.
But the katana were so powerful that they were able to just end the war. And it's implied that the war was like a war against Japan. Like some other country was going to just like take over Japan. But these katana made it so that they won. So this guy is seen as like a hero. But
it was either the Mongols or America.
Or China. I don't know.
China, no, they did it the inverse. Japan conquered China.
Yeah, but I would think China has reason to try to go back and conquer Japan.
Okay, all right.
But
I couldn't tell how modern this was supposed to be. There's cars
that is also
stuff.
a really weird thing. Is that at the beginning it's hard to tell like how modern it is, and then it like moves forward, and then it's like, okay, this looks like it's maybe the 80s or 90s. I don't know.
Cars exist. I don't remember seeing cell phones.
The cars are there, but they look kind of old.
Because one of the sorcerers like teleports because of.
Yeah, but they're like flip phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like probably like the mid 90s. Flip phones were still like big in Japan up through the 2010s. Yeah. Okay. So it's really hard to tell the time period. But the dad made 6 katanas. These katanas were super powerful.
Did he make 6?
Well,
or 7.
Eventually he made 7. And he made these 6 katana and then ended the war, essentially. It's kind of implied later that the 6th katana was the one that like did it. This one is just way more strong, way more powerful than the other ones.
Tenoichi or something like that.
The Shinichi.
Shinichi, yeah.
Yeah, just like Akane Banashi, the Rakugo level.
That's why they kept, before they revealed what it was, I was like, what do you mean the Shinichi?
The Shinichi? What?
Is Akane's dad about this?
The war got ended by these katanas, and then he kind of was like under the government's protection for several years.
Because he went and like got all the katanas and brought them back to his house.
And he's just like holding on to them. And then somehow these sorcerers break through the government's defenses and steal all the katanas and kill the main character's dad. So now the main character is like, I have to find out who killed my dad.
And his dad also bought him goldfish.
The goldfish are pretty important.
Also, another thing, his dad's not really good at like being a dad.
He was kind of just he was just a swordsmith. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all
The
he can
kid
do.
is kind of like doing all the chores and cooking.
Really
and
cool
taking care of
dad, really cool
goldfish.
guy, but
Like a really cool dad in the way of like he'd be your friend.
Yeah.
Not a cool dad in way of yeah, I can help raise you.
Yeah. But the dad is like a chill dad, a little bit of a deadbeat. All he does is make swords. Yeah, the sorcerers came and killed the main character's dad. So he's like, I'm fucking pissed. And then like there's a time skip. It's like 3 years where the main character is like training to get revenge. And before his dad died, his dad made like one last katana that has the power infused into it that like matches the goldfish that they bought. It's all explained. The goldfish are only really in the first chapter.
Yeah, I don't know that the power of the katana necessarily like creates the goldfish. I think that's just a thing because the sun has such an attachment.
It's really
to
confusing.
Goldfish.
So there's and I'll explain kind of why this is confusing. So there's the other enchanted katana. There's another one that gets
Cloud Gouger.
Yeah, Cloud Gouger gets shown a lot. And Cloud Gouger just has these like strict rules, and the main character knows these strict rules. He knows how it works.
It's water, ice, and lightning.
Yeah, it's got water, ice, and lightning, and they're meant for these different like tactics.
I would bet because his sword also kind of has the three abilities.
Yeah, the same
They're
sort of
different
tactics.
One is attack, one is defense, and one is like shrouding.
And the implication with it just having kind of basic things is that the katana just kind of has these basic things, and the Cloud Gouger doesn't have any sort of like like how would I explain this? It kind of like a stand, because the main character summons goldfish, and then later, and I don't know if this is actually within the first 30, because I read a little bit past 30, one of the enemies summons like a jellyfish.
So I think what that is, because at least I only read the first 30. I think as you use the sword more, you unlock more of its power. And because that is alluded to a lot with the main character. He's not fully mastered the sword. He's only had 3 years to do it. And you see him like learning things throughout it. It's why I also think like the goldfish are just a him thing. I think if someone else had the sword, it might manifest itself in a different way.
Well, so that's why I'm saying it's confusing, because the other guy grabs the stone. I think I only read to like
blows off, doesn't it?
I only read to like 33.
Main character's name. It was like
Chihiro.
Chihiro.
Yeah. Like,
Which I also,
like
I mean,
Away.
if we go ahead and bring up the main character's name, yeah, like Spirited Away. My friend's wife is named Chihiro, so like the entire time I'm reading it, I'm like, my friend's wife is killing people.
And this guy's really good at killing people.
He's really good at killing people. Oh, we never actually said how. Oh, we did say how we rated it. Never mind. But yeah. So the guy grabs a stone and he immediately summons a jellyfish. Oh. And I was like, okay, so is this that this guy is like a jellyfish? And it didn't really explain the jellyfish. It just kind of happens. Like, it doesn't show a flashback where he's like, I'm like a jellyfish. It just summons a jellyfish, you know? It doesn't have him, like, looking at a jellyfish and going, oh, I love jellyfish. Jellyfish just spawns.
Okay.
And I was just like, okay, so maybe the goldfish was just crafted into the sword. But I don't know. And maybe it is that, like, the sword was crafted with the goldfish in mind, and that the main character is probably the only one that will be able to wield it as effectively. So, because of the connection with the goldfish.
The way the sword's ability is explained is, well, I mean, this might just be all enchanted swords, is humans can only have so much spirit power at any given time. And the swords can hold more spirit power. Specifically, the Chihiro sword can hold, N10 is what it's called. N10 can hold a lot of spirit power, and it manifests into physical forms, and it doesn't specifically say a goldfish, and that's why I'm like, if someone else had it, it would probably be something else. I think it's a little bit to do with the wielder, because the rest of the sword's powers aren't goldfish based. That's what really has me like.
Are you sure?
They're named after the colors of the goldfish, but nothing else like spawns a goldfish.
Because whenever he uses each power, because he's got the black goldfish,
Kuro, there's a red
which lets him like recon.
No, Kuro's the one where he summons the goldfish and does a big
Yeah,
swipe.
does a big slash, but he's also able. It shows him a few times where he like he summons the black goldfish and it like goes into another room,
Right.
and then he's like able to see things, and then he does shred, which like fucks up
Cuts
the whole
everything.
room.
Yeah, and that's also a black goldfish power. Then I think it is just called like red or something.
Yeah.
And that's the defense/absorption power. And I think the last one is called Enshiki or something like that.
It does start with an E.
And that is the he calls it cloaking, but he kind of turns invisible. I think that's what's implied to be happening. He turns invisible.
I have no idea.
and he can
I
use
think
a lot
it's,
of
I think he
power.
just moves fast.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah. Okay. So it's Super Saiyan.
Yeah, he just goes fast. But to recap, kind of what happens. So, the first couple chapters are just sort of like the main character doesn't know what the hell to do. Like he's like, I want to find a katana, but I don't have any info. But I know that
This mobster might.
Yeah, there's like a sorcerer group that has like a tattoo on their hand, and he's like, that's what I know. And then they kind of see one of them who like summons trees, and then that dude doesn't show up again
Oh
for the
yeah.
entire first 30 chapters. He's just like there. But another dude, like later on, another dude pops up that can summon trees and has the same tattoo, but it's a different guy. Anyway, so it's like, I guess that's part of this sorcerer group, and they're the people that killed his dad. So he's like looking for them. And they sort of do this stuff, and then all of a sudden it sort of swaps to like, okay, we have this guy named Sojo who's like doing this shit.
Char, the little girl.
Yeah, Shar. So
She's
Shar
introduced
shows
first.
up, and she's like, I'm being chased by sorcerers, and they're like, I don't believe you. And then a sorcerer shows up, and they're like, okay, we believe you. And a lot of murder happens. It's really cool.
Yeah. The anime fuck. I'm excited for the anime. The manga it's bordering on the Chainsaw Man thing of what the fuck is even happening right
so
now?
that's as far as what detracts for me. I think I said my score was like an 8.5. I actually don't know if I said my score, but one of the biggest detractors for me in manga form is that it's really hard to tell what action is occurring, or like it'll be
one panel of him charging up a shot.
yeah, and then some
like
shit happens.
15 people will be cut in half.
And you're like, what in the hell? I don't know. And there's an issue of the visual clarity being bad, and also the fact that it's not being explained, which I prefer that it's not explained. I just like cool shit to happen, but I need the visual clarity to be there for me to follow the cool shit that's happening. Because like there's so many times where whenever Sojo, there's like a part.
Sojo was really hard to gauge what exactly was happening because he has lightning powers, and so he moves like lightning or whatever.
Right. So there's a part where there's like 5 motherfuckers who are all fighting Sojo, and they're really strong.
They're the government sorcerers.
Yeah, the government sorcerers, and they're all fighting Sojo, and they're like winning. And then Sojo pulls out some bullshit where they stole the katana from him.
Yeah,
and then he like
the sword
summons
is stuck
it.
in the ground, and then he manages. Oh, I'm sorry. The sword is stuck in the ground, and then by having previously imbued power in the sword, he manages to use the big scary attack of Cloud Gouger, which is either May or K. I think it's May.
I think it's May.
And then it like blows the dude's arm off. And it does all kinds of crazy
Yeah,
shit.
he like summons it back, but it was really confusing at first what happened, because it's like in the ground, and then it just shows like a big hole in the ground, and like it doesn't really show the katana coming to him. It didn't really have a great through
He
line.
just
and I
has
was
it in
just
his teeth all of a
huh?
sudden.
And then I think the next panel was just like everyone fucked up.
Yeah.
And it was like, what happened? I don't know. And then my other issue with Sojo particularly is that he was a great villain. Like I liked him.
He's kind of the opposite of the main character. He really loves Chihiro's dad.
Yeah.
But he thinks Chihiro's dad's whole thing was, yeah, I create weapons of war to kill people with.
Yeah, then that was an interesting dynamic, and to have it like, that he's somebody who's interpreting art in a way that's like more destructive. Like he's just, that was an interesting thought. The motherfucker gets killed in like chapter 14. It was like early.
It's like 18, I think.
So it's like
still
the
pretty early.
Whenever the first season of the anime comes out, it's like I don't know, maybe that'll be
He's
the
probably
final
gonna be the
episode.
first, like the ending boss.
But I was like, he was set up well enough to be like a solid 50 chapters, like
Maybe he
final
comes
boss
back.
kind of guy. I mean, maybe, but he blows the fuck up.
Yeah, but it's all. Oh, he did. Yeah, okay. So we see him grab the special metal because he thinks he understands it finally.
Yeah.
And then his arm blows off. And then the building
Which is totally
he's in-
Chihiro's fault.
Yeah, it is. But then the building he's in blows up as well. I could see him surviving that just because.
It's a little off screen.
Going back to Char's thing, yes, like Aznable. Char's thing is she's from a clan of people who can Wolverine regenerate.
Yeah.
And also heal other people with the regeneration powers. So her clan was hunted to extinction, kind of like Kurapika's clan, except it was for arguably a better reason than, oh, these eyes are really cool.
Yeah. Very similar motivation, but way more useful than just having red eyes.
So there's a couple things in these first 30 chapters where like she heals the main character so that he can not fucked up fight. But if she exists, it just makes me believe there's probably going to be a way for that guy to come back to life. Because he was a really good villain. He was a lot of fun to watch. And he's a good foil to Chihiro. It's either that guy's going to come back or the sorcerers, which it's said explicitly, he's not even like the biggest bad of them. He was just small fry. Are going to be way worse than him. I'm excited to see what any of the other swords do. Shinoichi is implied to
they've been hyping up Shinichi so much.
Like, there's a flashback where the dad says to Chihiro, "We can never let Shinoichi be used again."
He's
and
like,
that just made me go, "What do you mean?"
Different. He says it's different.
Yeah, it's the one that won
autistic
the
sword.
War.
But yeah. So my issue was that Sojo, I feel, was a really good villain that got wasted because he gets killed really quickly. Where it was and like the lead up to the battle was too fast as well. Where like there's this plot that happens where they kidnap Char and they're gonna go save her, and then Chihiro like sneaks in. It's a really cool moment where he sneaks in and he like cuts people's head off and shit.
They kidnap Char because his name's Sojo, right?
Yeah.
Sojo's whole thing is he wants to be able to make his own sword that's enchanted.
Yeah, he wants to make an enchanted sword.
He thinks that the key to that is Char's clan's special ability. It might be. It does not seem like it is. And if it is, he really didn't understand what he was doing.
I highly doubt it because like Rokuhiro didn't have it.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad dude. He wouldn't do that. Also, like
he wouldn't like enslave a child and use their regenerative abilities. But so Chihiro's trying to save Char, and it's like a cool thing. But my issue with it in general was that like it felt like it was rushing to the battle with Sojo and like killing him when it didn't need to. Like Sojo was supposed to be a smart guy, but he like clearly just put himself purposefully into a position where the police were going to come and attack him, which is not what a smart guy does.
With the sword.
And he knew that he wasn't super proficient with the sword yet, and still purposefully put himself into a situation where the police were going to come attack him. And then he fights 5 super powerful police officers at the same time, and he does fucking kill like 4 out of 5 of them.
He kills, I think, 3 of them.
Yeah, but we didn't like see one of the other guys.
He kills 2 of them. One of
them loses his legs. One of them loses his arm.
One of them loses his arm, and it's implied that 2 of them can still like fight, but they're saving it for a better day.
Yeah.
I also thought I thought it was really cool that I don't remember what the government organization's called. That
Kamunabi, I think.
What was it?
Kamunabi.
That sounds right. That they have specific task forces for recovering the swords.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, they're really fucking strong.
Yeah. But there's the other thing, too. So part of the thing with the swords is they have a a lifelong contract,
Yeah.
something like they're called. So as long as the wielder of the sword is alive, even if they don't have it, no one else can use it. It's a way to limit the power of the swords.
Yeah. So, continuing what I was saying, so like it's like the fight with the 5 police officers happen, and then immediately afterwards, Sojo goes and confronts Chihiro, and then the fight happens, and then Chihiro kills Sojo. So it felt like it was really weird and
part
fast.
about that fight, something that really
Why is
threw
it
me
echo?
off.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
um,
Something that was really weird about Sojo and Chihiro's fight was in there's one chapter where they end and they go, the fight only took 12 seconds.
yeah,
And then the next chapter, they're eating mochi, and it explains why eating mochi is so cool. And then as they're fighting, they're having a spirited philosophical debate about Chihiro's dad's views while eating mochi. But it took me a second to go, wait, are they actually eating mochi right now, or is this just happening?
yeah. It didn't do a great job of explaining that they were, because I took it as they're having a conversation through fighting, and that's like the like visual that we're getting of the conversation that they're having through a fight, because there is like this philosophy that like you can talk to somebody through fighting them, and that's what they're getting. They're having this conversation over mochi, talking about Chihiro's dad.
I wonder if that's going to continue through other big fights.
Maybe. I mean, I
wonder
think
if
I
the
really like
food's
that
gonna
as an
change.
idea. Yeah, they're eating fucking beef jerky. Yeah, so I believe that your dad's a bitch.
That's another. I wonder if every villain is going to have like a different philosophical take on the dad and the sword.
Right, that's all about the dad. What was I just thinking? Fuck, I've lost my train of thought.
Welcome to my life.
Continue something.
The mochi thing really threw me off. It's a really interesting and cool fight. They're both going at full force. The deciding blow happens because Sojo goes like 2 times the limit of spirit energy that a human body can take, but Chihiro goes 3 times the amount of
the
spirit
DBZ logic.
energy, and he just kills him. He cuts his guts open. Soju's crawling back to his lab to try and create a power or use power of the sacred metal or whatever, and his arm just blows the fuck off, and either Chihiro kills him or the building just blows up.
Yeah.
And after that, they go back and they have a nice little time for a little bit.
Yeah, I sort of remembered my train of thought. So, because we brought up the previous users of the katana. So, like, the whole time that we're reading the Sojo arc, I kept on thinking, so where are the previous users of the katana? Are they, like, around? Are
They're
they
employed
dead?
by the government.
Yeah. So we learned that later, but we didn't learn it until after Sojo was dead. So the whole time I'm really confused. I'm like, where
At
are
least one
they?
of them
What's
is.
going on? And they don't explain the whole contract thing also until after Sojo's dead. And
They do it going into the next arc, which is
Yeah.
the auction arc.
the auction, so which becomes a really big, really big plot point that like they their whole contract thing for the next arc. And it felt a little weird to me that it wasn't explained prior, but now it is. But either way, it was like right after Sojo dies, they were like, yeah, so Cloud Gouger was the only katana where like the previous user is dead. And then it like really quick, the Kaminabi explained that like the other users are all alive, but they're like under the police's protection. Especially Shinichi, who we keep seeing flashes of, and he's like in between 10 pillars that are like covered in scrolls, and he's all mysterious and just like sitting there. So it's like clear that this guy's fucking crazy. I'm interpreting that as like they're holding him in like a demon. Like this guy is
They're going to
powerful
introduce
himself.
him, and he's going to be like the most whimsical man on
Yeah, he's gonna be like a silly, goofy guy. It kind of reminds me of, and this is a bit of a niche thing, but in World of Warcraft there is like a demon inside of one of the dungeons who is like kept inside of a bunch of pillars, and he's like being held captive while they like sap his power. And I'm like, it's giving me that energy.
Okay. So we go into the auction arc. We're introduced to a guy. He's the youngest child of the patriarch of a big family who does a criminal auction every year, and their whole thing is we're sorcerers and we do this auction, and we're sorcerers so we can protect this auction. The youngest guy was exiled from the family. He says because he doesn't know sorcery, but it's revealed that the real reason is he fell in love with one of the women that was being auctioned off. And so in the fight between Sojo and Chihiro, Chihiro saves his life, and then they run into each other again. They run into each other again when one of the police force people, I don't remember his name, but he's got this thing called the Flame Bone.
That's a girl.
Oh, I thought it was a he. Sorry.
Yeah.
They say he a lot with her then. That's strange.
I don't know.
She's got the Flame Bone, and it's...
I think it's Hiyuki.
That sounds right. It's something Yuki. Hiyuki is probably right. The Flame Bone is outright said to be on the same level as the Enchanted Swords. And if you've ever seen Hellsing, the way they dispatch Hiyuki to go fight is very similar to how Alucard is dispatched, where they have to ask for permission to use a certain amount of their power.
Yeah.
So when Hiyuki is dispatched, the higher ups go, you have permission to use your flame bone up to the torso, and so the whole arm is like, it's not like a skeleton. It's like 4 different femurs on fire.
It's really weird. So to describe this, right? So it's kind of like the flame bone is almost as if it's a big skeleton that Hiyuki is able to like summon parts of to like use in combat. And so far we've mostly seen her summoning like a fist and just like punching with it. But she also in a certain fight summons ribs and tries to use them as sort of like a cage.
Okay.
So I think the implication is that like she essentially has a connection to a giant skeleton, and probably could summon the whole thing and
But
would be
isn't
very
allowed
destructive,
to.
but is not allowed to because it would be really destructive. And also probably because of the destructive power, she is always dispatched with this guy who is like a sumo wrestler.
He's got a barrier technique.
Yeah, and he's sort of like...
It's a domain expansion.
Yeah, he uses like a domain expansion to trap Hiyuki and whatever enemy that they're fighting in this thing, and you can only leave it once somebody is defeated, which includes anyone in there. So it's like if just like a side character is trapped in there as well and they pass out, it's
gone.
Ends the barrier.
Which happens to the young guy of this auction family.
Yeah. The criminal group.
Yeah. So they talk to the young guy from the auction family. They figure out that Shinoichi is being held in their storehouse, which they then go to the patriarch, who has like a weird little eye thing going on. He's got like a mask,
got like a mask
that only covers his eye.
It's so cool. It reminds me of Maple Story.
Okay, yeah. I don't know anything about Maple Story except, actually nothing. So they go to the house of the patriarch. They interrogate the patriarch, and the patriarch goes, "If you kill me, it all disappears," which is not true. I mean, we learned before the...
So I don't think we actually explained what the storehouse is. So it's explained...
It's a domain expansion.
It's a domain expansion. So it's explained that there is like this other dimension.
No, it's a reality marble.
Yeah, that's like is where all of the like goods that are going to be auctioned off are kept in. But it's a weird like dimensional pocket that only the patriarch is able to access because he has this specific ability symboled by the mask. And like if he's killed, then that dimension is disconnected. So like nobody can get in there. Or so he says, which we then later find out that there's like a back door that they can get into. But also apparently that back door can just be broken, which becomes a plot point as well. So he breaks the back door, and then it's like,
far
okay.
into it in these first 30 chapters.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Is it 30? It might be like 34. I only read to like 34 or 35. But yeah, the back door is like breakable.
Okay. The auction is happening, or rather, so they're doing the recon with the patriarch. Chihiro gives up his sword N10 for the auction as like a red herring, because Chihiro can somehow, and by somehow I mean he pours energy into the sword and he can summon goldfish to like look about the area. He realizes, oh, this really is just like a pocket outside of space. It's not like a building. You can't go to this place.
But he notices the back door. They're doing that recon.
And then they show it to the youngest kid of the auction family, and he goes, I've seen that door. The door's here. And then they go to the door.
They do a lot of murder to get to they do a lot of murder to get to that
as
door.
Well. We're introduced to the oldest brother of the auction family, who is supposedly the strongest, and he really loves his younger brother. He's so happy to see his younger, in a weird way. Yeah, it's not really implied to be super weird, like in the way you might be thinking, but it's weird that he loves his little brother so much.
Well, so he tortures his little brother a lot. They show him torturing him a lot. He
shows his love by punching and kicking.
He beats the shit out of his little brother, but he loves him. He has a connection to him, and he thinks that his mind was tainted. So he's like, you're only leaving because your mind is tainted. Come over here so I can beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. Or whoever is tainting your mind.
Yeah.
So, then they get teleported to... They all get teleported to the auction family's household. They run away, and then they plan an assault on the auction house. This is where all the finding out about the door stuff happens. The auction is taking place, and the auction, it's basically explained, the auction happens once a year. Everyone in the city just fucks off because they don't want to see any of this auction at all. It's big and scary. They don't want to be a part of it. There's tons of different criminal gangs coming up and being a part of the auction, but only 3 people from each of the groups are allowed to go into the auction house. Everyone else from those groups, it's like an agreed upon thing, just does outside security, and then the auction family does the inside security. Typically the door hasn't been protected, but because they are under the impression Chihiro knows about it, they're called the Tau, T-A-U?
Yeah, T-A-U.
Which are the 4 strongest people of the auction family, are guarding the door because Chihiro knows about it. They find the door. And then there's a fight. Chihiro's fighting most of them, and then the big brother and the little brother. The little brother like gets smothered by the big brother, and then the little brother goes, actually, I'm here to fight you, and he awakens his powers because his eye like gets a thing.
So the little brother wasn't able to do any sorcery for the longest time, and then it kind of shows a flashback of like the sorcerer that's been helping Chihiro this whole time.
Oh, and he explains it to him?
He's like, he's like, oh, this is how sorcery works, and I think you can do it. You've just been like stunted because everyone bullies you so much. But he's like, I think if you like got over that, you could do it. So then he like summons the ability to shoot his like gravity magic, which is
that's their big thing.
Yeah,
the family's big thing is controlling shockwaves.
Yeah, it explains all this at once, which is kind of annoying. But they're like, okay, so each sorcerer can only have one kind of Remember how I said earlier that like they didn't do a whole lot of explaining, and then suddenly they started to do a bunch of explaining?
Did you ever watch Mashal?
A little bit.
It's kind of like Mashal, where each magic is very specific to a thing. There's a guy with gravity magic, there's a guy with rock magic, there's a guy with sword magic.
Yeah. So it explains that each sorcerer awakens their sorcery, and it's like super specific to the person, but that's also like hereditary. So that family that is like the auction family have like this gravity magic that essentially is just like a push. It's like a Fusroda from your hands. And the youngest guy wasn't able to do it. Like he just wasn't able to do it. And then he gets like disowned by the family. But he, in this moment while he's fighting his older brother, he summons it up.
It's killing me, and I know I've done this, calling them the auction family.
Yeah.
Sazanami clan.
The Sazanami clan. It's a kind of hard name. He does it, and he hits the older brother, but it's really weak. And then the older brother's like, fuck you, man. And then he hits him really fucking hard with the same ability. And then the younger brother gets up and he like awakens a second sorcery. So it's like, whoa, second sorcery, that's not supposed to be possible. But then it was like, oh, the the original patriarch of the family was able to do 2 sorceries.
Because
they were able to do the gravity magic and the storehouse magic. And he just awakened that. So he's clearly like a genius, like super fucking highly functional.
Until this point, he's kind of just an idiot.
Yeah. And then he like fully awakens his ability, and then he fucking hits his brother with a goddamn shockwave so powerful. And it's kind of implied that his brother just dies after that. I don't know. It doesn't show it, so maybe he's still alive. And I didn't get far enough to like confirm that. But yeah, the little brother gets like a whole redemption thingy going on.
And then they're at the door.
The door.
The door.
And is that where 30 ends?
Yeah.
And they're at the door?
Pretty much.
I read it like a little bit further just because I was like, oh, I want to see how this kind of
Definitely
concludes.
see reading the rest of this. This is a really fun manga.
It's really fun. There's a lot of murder. There's very little like moral questioning about the murder. It's all in revenge, and these guys are all criminals. So we're killing all of them. The main character just kills and kills and kills. He is a bloodthirsty maniac. Like in the first chapter, the dead. And
he is also a pretty chill guy.
Chill guy, which is what I didn't like about him for the most part, is just that he's like, but they kind of turn it into a joke where the main character is so stoic that like, there's like a panel where he's like, I was really excited, couldn't you tell? And he's like, so then it got kind of funny whenever they pointed and laughed at him. But there's a lot of murder. And in the first chapter, the dad is like, he's like, hey,
don't kill.
So what we're doing here is we are making, what is it? Kagurabachi is the name of the manga. What we are doing here is we are making weapons of murder. Like we're making murder weapons. They're katana. They're not for anything else. You just use it to fucking kill somebody. And he's like, you need to be able to live with the fact that you are making something that is going to kill somebody. And he's like, and the kid's like, I guess I get it. And now he's like, I'm going to fucking murder. These motherfuckers killed my dad. I'm going to fucking kill them all. I'm going to murder all these motherfuckers. And then he just, he kills like, in the 30 chapters that we read, he probably killed 100 people. Like he kills so many fucking bad guys.
They're all criminals, so is it really murder?
There's a part really early on when they're fighting like the first like sorcerer dude that they see, where he does like a Kill Bill moment where he goes into a room and just kills like 20 dudes
in one swipe.
And then he's like holding the guy and he's like, tell me everything you know, like some badass fucking Clint Eastwood shit.
Doesn't the guy just explode?
Yeah, and then he's like I'll tell you, and he tells him, and then the guy explodes into like a tree, and the tree like lifts all the dead bodies up and like strings them up, and I was just like, what the fuck? This is fucking brutal.
This anime is gonna look really cool.
Yeah, the anime will probably be really cool.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea when the anime's coming out. But yeah, really, really fucking violent. And the main character has no moral qualms about it. He's like, I'm killing these guys until I can kill everyone that killed my dad, and I can collect all the katana that were stolen.